Hey guys, it's Brett and Melanie, and we are back. And boy, do we have a great book to talk about today. But before we get to
It's a
that,
very good book.
Melanie, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second, Melanie. Shania
What'd I do?
Twain is cranking in the other room. I got to go turn her off. Hang on.
Shania may or may not have been blasting when I joined the podcast earlier.
My goodness, Shania Twain, do I come to your shows and interrupt your show? I think not. All right, so tell everybody hi, Miss Melanie.
Hi. Here we are.
That's all? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
You just
I
said
got
this for me to tell him hi.
Welcome to the Bookish Introverts Podcast. Join host Amazon bestselling author Brett Nelson and avid reader Melanie Dyer as they dive in to review books they've read, then chat with the amazing authors behind them. Quiet minds, big bookshelves. You don't want to miss it.
I got to tell you something. So last night, 2 weeks ago, I watched Dirty Dancing, the movie Dirty Dancing. I'm not even going to ask you if you've seen it because you're like movie aficionado. So
for the first time?
No, not for the first time, but it's been a while. Yeah, so I watched Dirty Dancing, and last weekend, Labor Day weekend, I watched Dirty Dancing Havana Nights and was like, eh. Last night, I watched a Dirty Dancing that was made in 2017. Have you ever heard such nonsense? Have you ever watched that movie?
I did hear the nonsense, and no, I did not watch the movie.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, it has a 2.2 star on IMDb, so that's all you need to know.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You don't mess with perfection.
Exactly. Well, exactly. This is like an 80s, is it 89 or 90? Like, this is a 90s classic. This movie was doomed from the very beginning.
I think it was 89.
89. Yeah, I knew it was right because I graduated in 91, and it was a thing when I graduated in 91. Because I did not like the movie.
I was trying to think at what inappropriate age I watched.
Right.
Jennifer Grey seduced Patrick Swayze in his cabin.
I know, right? You know, the fact that it has dirty in the movie was probably, my parents would not let me watch it probably. But like, I did not like the movie when it first came out. Like, I just,
really?
my girlfriends, my friends that are girls, they were like, oh my gosh, you know, faint. And they're, you know, like they could not believe. Yeah. So, but it's a great movie.
If nothing else, you can appreciate the soundtrack. It has an amazing soundtrack.
It has an amazing soundtrack. And that's the interesting thing about this movie that was created in 2017. Abigail Breslin plays Baby in the show, which I like Abigail Breslin. You know, I mean, she was a fantastic child actor. So she played Baby. Some guy, I don't even know who the guy was, Colt somebody played Patrick Swayze. Deborah Messing played Mama Houseman, which Kelly Bishop played that, you know, Gilmore Girls.
Sorry. I like Deborah Messing, but
yeah, horrible
I'm sorry,
casting.
You're not Kelly Bishop.
No, horrible casting. And then what's the guy's name? He played in Double Jeopardy. He played Bruce Greenwood played Doc Houseman. So
no.
Yeah. So I was just weird casting. Although I didn't object as much to Bruce Greenwood because I do kind of like him. Like I said, I really liked him in Double Jeopardy. But man, let me tell you, and it was the interesting thing. The 27 version was very similar to the movie. Like it had some of the same scenes, some of the same lines, you know, like the spaghetti arms line, and you know, it had all that. It had some of the same songs, but they were just updated to modern songs instead. And I'm like, okay, you guys butchered this movie on so many levels. So yeah, I was just wondering if you had seen it.
No, there are just some things you don't touch, you know. Dirty Dancing is one of them. Princess Bride is another.
Yeah.
The only remake there should ever be of The Princess Bride is the one they did during COVID. I don't know if you ever saw that. I'm sure the whole thing's out on YouTube, but it was hilarious. All these actors they did a project and they all filmed different scenes from the movie and posted them on social media. And it was freaking hilarious. It was absolutely fantastic. I think at the time, Joe Jonas was married to Sophie Turner. And they filmed a scene, but they swapped genders. He was Buttercup and she was Wesley. It was really funny.
Huh.
Which they're not married anymore.
It's been a long time since I've seen that. I don't really remember much about it.
I remember that because it was still, Game of Thrones was still pretty popular at the time. And I love Sophie Turner. I'm a Sansa apologist for anyone. Well, no, I'm not an apologist. I'm a Sansa defender. Everyone get off Sansa's tack. Okay? The child trying to survive. Leave her alone. Sansa forever. Right. Brett has no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sometimes with Melanie, I just laugh and shake my head.
Everyone just needs to get off her back, okay?
No, she was married to Joe Jonas?
Yes.
Okay. Is she like
divorced.
An actress?
I don't know why, but I'm sure it was his fault.
Yep, probably. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, she's an actress. She's actually going to be, if rumors are to be believed, she's going to be Lara Croft in the next Tomb Raider movie. I don't know.
Really? Huh. I can't imagine anyone other than Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft. So that'll be interesting.
I think she could do it. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
She's done action before, but it was like superhero stuff. So.
Oh, and I always liked Lara Croft, so we'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
You know, movies have been kind of blah lately. Usually you got your summer blockbuster season where, you know, they crank out how long has it been? I mean, we did have Top Gun Maverick a couple of summers ago, but we haven't had a single, I don't think, great movie this year during the summer.
People just aren't going to the movies.
Yeah.
The way they were.
I know a lot of people, it feels like after COVID, people stopped going to the movies.
Yeah. A lot of people have gone this last week because they released Hamilton in theaters. I'm not going because a bunch of people are going to be singing and, you know, whatever, that's fine. But I'll stay and watch it on Disney. I'll stay home and watch it on Disney Plus if I want.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Speaking of singing,
Downton Abbey is coming out in the States.
Oh, I never got into that. So
a couple of weeks. So, but that's the only thing I really.
I know that's your jam, Downton Abbey. You love that period junk.
I do. I love period pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
There just hasn't been a lot of movies out this year.
Yeah. Well,
that have interested me.
Yeah, me either. I kind of wish there were some good. Although was last year when Twisters came out, that was a pretty good one. So.
Was it last year or the year before?
It may have been the year before last. I don't remember. Anyway, we're
if I disappear or seem distracted by anything at some point, it's because I have cuties next to me. I have this weird thing where all of a sudden I'm starving and I have to eat right then. So I grabbed a couple oranges.
Oh, okay.
in case my body says, hey, eat something.
Yeah.
So if I appear distracted or sound distracted, that's why.
We will know. Melanie's.
I have my two little mandarins.
Now, is this like a chemo thing, or you're not on chemo? Are you on chemo, or are you on some other thing?
My treatment is every other week, so I'll be having treatment this coming Wednesday.
So is that a symptom? You don't know if that's a symptom of the chemo or not?
It's just something I've noticed. I don't have much of an appetite, and then all of a sudden it's like food.
You're ravenous. Yeah. I don't have any food, but there's a cat. People, I was just teasing. Do not attack us. Yeah.
I love cats. So if you want to attack someone, attack Brett. Get him. I'm also sniffly, so excuse that. I'm not sick. I'm just sniffly.
Well, you want to talk about this book? Tell the listeners what we read.
So it's not really a book I would have thought I would be into. I'm not a thriller type person.
Mhm.
Brett's the thriller type person.
Yes.
But he gave me a choice of 3. And one of them just didn't catch my interest at all. The other one, I thought, well, it's interesting, but I think maybe we can give Brett a break. Because it did kind of sound like just a straight up romance. This one, I thought, well, I like the sci-fi movies and TV shows and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Now, before you,
this is interesting.
the book is
And this
called
isn't sci-fi; it's just science.
Yeah. The book is called Silent Altitudes. It's by Michael James Emberger, I think. Do you have your
Yes.
book there with you? I forgot to bring mine in here.
I meant to bring it in here.
Okay, that's fine. I'll flash image of the cover. It's kind of a
It's
cover
actually
like
a really cool cover.
Yeah, it looks like it's taken from space. There's the Earth with the sun kind of peeking over the edge, and then there's like a network, like a netting over the Earth, which does feed into the story. So before we get too far into the book, I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer on it. As Melanie said, this is sort of a sci-fi type book or a science. I don't know if it's. Yeah, it's not really sci-fi and like aliens and stuff like that, but it does deal with the topic of climate control, climate crisis issues, which we all know is a very divisive, hot topic in today's political climate. We're not here to offend anyone. There are literally 2 spectrums to this topic. There are people that think it's all conspiracy theory, and then there are people that think we got to act right now and save the world before humans destroy it. There's really not much middle in this topic.
No, there's not a middle ground.
Yeah. No. What are your thoughts on the climate crisis propaganda? Like, do you want to share that, or is that?
I'm not sure I have. I don't necessarily think that the planet is safe and sound and everything's hunky-dory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that. I think the planet changes, and some of what we're seeing is natural change, and I do think we've probably contributed to speeding some of it up.
Mm-hmm.
We've done things that are unnatural, and that's bound to change stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Industrialization and releasing chemicals, and it's bound to change things.
Yeah.
I don't know that we are at crisis mode yet, but I kind of take the thought of we're not around for the long haul anyway. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I don't think we're going to be here long enough for it to reach
the point in the book.
Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Catastrophic levels.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be here.
Yeah,
that's,
I agree.
That is a Christian perspective.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who think we're going to be here for another more, millions of years. I don't think that's the case.
I don't either. Yeah. I'll be honest, when I picked this book, I was a little bit unsure of it first because I have very strong opinions on all this too. Shocking, right? Brett having a strong opinion on something. I know, right? No. That and a bulldozer would knock you over, right? So here's what I think about it. I think we need to be kind to our planet.
Absolutely.
But humans are so arrogant. God created this planet, and he knew from the very beginning how everything was going to end up. Humans are so arrogant to think that we are strong enough to destroy what God has created. That's what I think. God, we as humanity are not strong enough to just completely destroy God's creation. So that's what I think. So I've been looking for some books by male authors to read on the podcast because Christian fiction, it's very imbalanced. It's very unbalanced.
Views expressed by.
What?
The views expressed by some members.
Yeah. Well, and I've talked to a couple. It is unbalanced. I've talked to several, at least 3 Christian fiction publishing companies, because I'm an author, and they have flat out told me we're not looking for male authors. If a publishing said that we're only publishing male authors, we're not looking for female authors, oh my goodness. I
That's
cannot
crazy.
believe the level of sexism that is present in Christian fiction. I would never have thought that in Christian fiction. And I think I kind of get it to a degree, because it does seem like the majority of readers of Christian fiction are females. But maybe that's because of the kind of content that Christian fiction publishing companies are cranking out. Most men don't want to read historical fiction. Most men
I
don't
agree.
want to read romance. So it's when that's all you're cranking out in the industry, that's why you're not reaching male readers. And there are a few that have made it. We've got Charles Martin. We've got Charles, is it Rosenberg? It's not Charles. He writes some of the military fiction and Christian fiction. I'm blanking on his
You're
name.
on your own with this one. I'm
I think
sorry.
it's
I'm afraid I'm
Rosenberg.
part of the problem.
I've read a book or two of his. Anyway, I'm not saying that it's bad that Christian fiction is predominated by female authors. I just wish there was more room for male authors. So anyways, well, when I ran across this book, I think I found it on Christian book distributors. I saw it and I was a little bit about it at first because it was about climate crisis. And I'm like, I do not agree with climate crisis. I think it's political propaganda. And I really feel like it's conspiracy theory. But then I thought, okay, but conspiracy theories make for great discussions.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, so
I love
that's
conspiracy theories.
I
So
do
much fun.
too. I love conspiracy theories. I'm one of those people that wishes there were aliens out there. And so anyway, so I went ahead and chose this book, and boy, I'm glad I did. This was such a good book. Again, as I said, the guy that wrote this book, his name is Michael James Emberger. We're not going
Yes.
to go into huge in-depth on his bio because I am going to have him on the podcast. We're going to record a quick little session with him on this coming Monday. So that'll come out probably shortly after this. Depending on how long this episode goes, I may splice it into this one. But if this one goes long, we'll just do it as a separate video. So we'll see. So anyway, his name is Michael James Emberger. He writes to help raise awareness about sexual assault, abuse, and other violence against women, to encourage survivors of these crimes, and to ask others to care about and get involved as allies and advocates, which I love that. A favorite activity of his is hiking Mount Washington in New Hampshire's White Mountains. We don't even have mountains around here to climb, so that's pretty cool.
We have hiking trails, but
Yes, we are not in a mountainous area. He graduated from the engineering program at Messiah College, where he met his wife on the solar car racing team. Not sure exactly what that is, but that's something we'll talk about when we talk to him. They live in a 1776 colonial farmhouse surrounded by remnants of a once thriving apple orchard. So I think we're going to have a good discussion with him. So,
good.
Yeah. So you want to take us into the book, Melanie?
It starts off very interestingly with a young girl. I wasn't positive of her age, but she was probably
in high school.
In high school?
Maybe. Yeah.
Valentina.
Mm-hmm.
Valentina Severnaya.
She's Russian.
We're in Russia. And she is...
She goes to an elite private academy.
Yes. She has a benefactor. She doesn't know who that is until this moment. And the benefactor is a... why can't I think of her first name?
Catherine Morgreed.
Catherine Morgreed.
Mm-hmm.
Made me laugh.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about her name when we get further into the book. I have thoughts on it.
It's a little Dickensian, some of the names.
Yeah.
Just made me laugh.
Sometimes I wonder if they were a little tongue-in-cheek intentionally. So, yeah.
I think Catherine was for sure.
For sure, yeah.
For sure. But she basically tells Valentina, do what I say, study what I say, and your life will be set. when you
she
graduate.
gets
The thing
called
will
to the
continue.
headmaster's office, and
Yes.
her benefactor is there, and she asks Valentina, what do you want out of life? And Valentina says, I just want a family and somewhere where I belong. So the woman tells her, well, I've got a proposition for you. They're about to start a program to address the climate change problem that the world is in. And she wants to know if Valentina will be up for the challenge of being their climate change expert scientist
Yes.
when they get this program up and running. And she tells Valentina, if you want to do it, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a name for yourself. The world will be your oyster, so to speak. If you don't want to do it, you're on your own after you get out of high school, and you will get no more help from me.
So she just, as any orphan might do, it's like, well, what have I got to lose?
Exactly.
Better agree.
That's a great thing to be offered to you.
It is. It's nothing but an opportunity. And
yeah,
I mean, they are in Russia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And we do have Russian
Anyone's
listeners.
in Russia listening to this, I apologize.
So we jump ahead 7 years.
Was it 7?
7 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is where the UN comes to play, and you don't want to ask me my opinion on the UN. We're going to leave that out of this.
Oh, come on.
No. So
I probably agree. Yes, I probably agree.
But we have my memory is not working well.
Dr. Laura Pottersmith.
Well, there's Dr. Laura. There's Laura.
Oh, Milford Pennychuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So
this is his project.
Yeah, so after Catherine makes this offer to Valentina, they start this contest and they open it up. All these scientists have the opportunity to give their proposal for how they would change the climate control crisis. And then once they're all submitted, the UN or whoever's in charge on that selection committee, they choose the person whose proposal they're going to implement. Well, 7 years later, we find out that Milford Pennychuck, he is at an UN assembly and they have chosen his proposal. So his proposal is the one that's going to solve the climate crisis. They've announced that the atmospheric, his program is called the Atmospheric Carbon Reduction Plan. It has been approved and they're about to proceed.
And he is very hopeful that it will. And he describes what takes place.
So what happens is
I am not a science person.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to go over your head, but I did the plan is to reduce atmospheric carbon by solidifying it out of the greenhouse gases. To do this, they must generate an electromagnetic field in the atmosphere. The electromagnetic field is generated by nuclear power. Dum dum dum. After his when there's nuclear power involved, something's about to hit the fan. So so they kind of explain all that, and then that's when he meets Catherine Morgreed.
Well, I think he meets up with her. He's known her for.
They have lunch.
Yeah, he's known her for a while, but he and Laura, who has helped him with this project, they go out to lunch with Catherine. There are all kinds of name drops of agencies, the EPA. What's it, the ICCP? I don't even know if that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah, but there are several known agencies named throughout the book.
There are so many agencies involved in all this. We're basically on a countdown to the system being launched.
Yes. So basically, after they have the lunch, they meet, and this is really nothing really of importance happened at the meeting. It just shows them going out to lunch that I can remember.
Yeah, we just get a little more idea of the characters and.
Yeah. And then it jumps to 12 years later. And 12 years later is when they've built the system. It's in place and it's about to be implemented in a couple of days.
Yes, there have been constant delays, and it's
Mm-hmm.
cost more than they thought, and it's just
Yeah.
been kind of a nightmare, which most things like this are. But they're finally within, what, 2 weeks of launch?
Well, I wrote down that they're days away from starting the climate system, so I think we're days into the launch. When we start into the 12 years later, they're days
Yeah, the
from
12 years later.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're days away
Um,
from the launch.
so we've got more characters now. We've got we still have Laura. We get introduced to her husband. They have 2 grown daughters, twins,
Autumn and
Summer and
Summer.
Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
Valentina comes back into play, and she is not the young girl we remember.
No, she is not.
And she comes across very cold, very,
Yes.
it's very Cold War Russian spy type,
Yes.
Black Widow.
Well,
type
okay,
thing.
let's
Every sense of the word.
exactly. Well, here's one of her favorite pastimes is she goes into the boxing ring. She loves boxing. She goes into the boxing ring, kills her opponent in the boxing ring. Then we find out that her opponents are prisoners from Serbia. They're Serbian prisoners. After she kills them,
Yeah.
they send them back under the guise of that the person was killed by another prisoner. So
By another inmate, yeah.
Valentina is not someone you want to tangle with. I'm just saying.
No. And she is tangled up with the EPA
Yes.
and the EPA director, Barry.
Barry, yeah.
Barry Milford? Is it?
No, Milford is Pennychuck's first name.
Yeah, Milford is Pennychuck.
I don't remember Barry's last name.
He was mostly referred to as Barry the whole time.
Yeah.
But she's in a kind of a push-pull relationship with him. She's kind of
and she's a doctor,
seductress, but she hasn't actually seduced him. It's just kind of a tease back and forth.
Yeah,
she toys with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting, and I thought from the first, I was like, she's an interesting character. I thought she was just kind of going to be one note, but it didn't take long before I was like, there's something.
Yeah,
something ain't right.
There's a lot of depth to her character.
Yes.
She's definitely not a caricature. When you look into her, she can kill prisoners, male prisoners with her bare hands. That almost feels caricature, but she's really not. She really is a character with a lot of depth.
Yes, very much so. We learn a little bit more about, Laura's a scientist. Her husband, Craig, is a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, all American.
Which in stories like this, you got to have a pilot somewhere in the mix.
Yeah, you got to have a pilot. There's got to be a pilot.
Yeah.
And their twins are Summer and Autumn, and they're just as outdoorsy as their dad is.
Yeah. Which
I think Laura kind of is too, but she's also a scientist, and that kind of keeps her in the lab or in the field where she's practicing.
Yes.
But everyone's all excited for the launch, and the closer we get to it, the more we discover Valentina really doesn't like Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know why, other than the fact that she's just a very cold person.
Yes.
Catherine is a very cold person.
Very.
Other than that, we have no idea why Valentina doesn't like Catherine. It's essentially none of us would like Catherine. She's not a welcoming person to, let into your life.
Exactly.
But the launch takes place, the headquarters are in Arizona.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In Flagstaff.
Kind of out in the desert.
It's always with the desert. You guys with the tests and the...
Well, yeah.
Mexico, Arizona.
Maybe that's a safer bet when you're dealing with nuclear...
Us people live there too.
Power, right? Yeah.
Some of us don't live there anymore, but we did once.
You did once. I'm telling you, I don't think I can handle the heat there. So anyway, so they're I'm not a heat person. So anyway, so Milford winds up calling Valentina because he doesn't.
Yes.
He feels like the system isn't working exactly the way he thinks it should.
Yes, Milford
And
is still running tests up to the day of launch,
yes,
as any good scientist probably would.
exactly. This is not one of those things where you want to fly by the seat of your pants.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Valentina calls Barry, who is the EPA director, and she tells him that, okay, so here's the deal. So he tells her, I feel like we need a little bit more time. I think we need to delay this course, which is
Dr.
not what.
Pennychuck does. Yeah.
Yes. And so Valentina calls Barry, the EPA director, and she has been sort of putting this little seed in people's mind that Dr. Pennychuck has dementia. He doesn't. There's nothing wrong with him.
No, there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, so she's been building up to this for months, telling him, "Hey, he's not himself. He's not as sharp as he used to be. Blah blah blah. He's getting worse." And she tells Barry it might be best to pull his accesses in the computer so he can't finish working on what he's been working on. So we've got that little bit of tension in the story.
And that's your first indication that maybe all is not as it seems with the launch of
Yes.
this system. You know, what are they trying to accomplish here?
Yeah. He says there's a 10% chance that things could go wrong, which doesn't sound like a big thing, but if they're about to launch nuclear power around, they're literally, what they're doing is they're launching a network of nuclear weapons all around the globe, literally covering the globe with them. I don't want a 10% chance that things could go wrong when we're in that situation. Just saying.
True.
Yeah. So she tells him that not starting the system is not acceptable. That if anything,
there's been too many delays.
Yes. And that she said, if anything is off, we can make last minute adjustments once the system has started. Again, nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So he tells her,
once it's already in motion, then we'll fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. So she tells him, send me your information. I'll look over it. And then if there's anything in it that we are concerned about it, then we'll talk about it further. After they hang up from the phone, he realizes that she's more concerned with the delay than she has been in the past and wonders if the biggest threat to implementation would be the bureaucrats placed in charge of it. You think?
See, and this is, to go back to real life for a while, this is my problem with the climate change thing, is it is too politicized.
Yes.
And it's weaponized.
Yes.
In politics, as
you've got people in charge of it that are going to get financial gain from it.
Yes.
And that's not a good motive when it comes to things like this, because you'll stop at nothing because of your greed.
More greed.
Yeah, see, exactly. And that's why Catherine, it may be premature to say this, Catherine winds up being on the selection committee for this. And she had some financial gain in this because with this system, some of her companies, she has a company, I think it's called More Greed Industries or More Greed something. One of the things that her company manufactures is nuclear powered reactors. And they're using her nuclear reactors in this plan, which means she stands to gain she and her company. Yes. And
it's not like nuclear reactors are cheap.
Right. And we're talking of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of them that are literally going to be covering the whole globe. I don't know if we actually got a number, but there's a ton of them.
Well, the reactors are placed in strategic spots around the globe, and they power the balloons.
Yes.
Which
their reactor
company
balloons
might also manufacture. I'm not sure. I didn't catch that.
But the interesting thing about it is, you would think, okay, this is a huge conflict of interest to have somebody on the selection committee who has a financial interest in the outcome. And so you would think somewhere along the line, somebody would have been like, okay, maybe we ought to not have her on the committee since she has such a huge financial stake in it. And she's really pushing for this plan because she wants the financial windfall that's going to come with it. So I thought that was kind of odd. Yeah, I think in real life, I would hope that somebody somewhere would be like, okay, we got to get her off the selection committee.
In writing, there might be checks and balances. I highly doubt anyone goes by it anymore.
You don't think?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Washington
you're probably right.
Is now? No.
True.
But
yeah.
we're veering into dangerous territory.
Yeah, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of upright people in Washington.
No.
Yeah.
But we're counting down here, and after Valentina tells Dr. Pennychuck, because he calls her again after that.
Yes.
And what he tells her actually does concern her, because it's something she's not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
She's been working behind the scenes.
Which gives you hope that she has a little bit of critical thinking and logic in there somewhere.
Yeah. And it's clear that somewhere behind the scenes she's been told to sabotage this project, but we don't know in what way.
Yes. Or why.
We don't know what the purpose is. We don't know, what's the goal here.
Or really by whom, unless I'm not remembering. Like, I'm not even sure we knew in the beginning who. We just knew that she was sort of...
Well, I mean, we know she works for
Catherine.
Mm-hmm. So Catherine's obviously involved in some way, but we don't know to what extent.
Yeah.
But the news that Dr. Pennychuck gives her does take her by surprise. I think it's a complication that she wasn't expecting with all, because she's a scientist too, and she understands all this.
Mm-hmm.
She tells him to rest. She will look into it, and he mentions, I think he thinks to himself that she actually seemed concerned this time. But he decides, she's right. Maybe I just need to take a break. And he decides to go get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And when he turns right to get pizza, because he's trying to decide pizza or Thai.
Uh-huh.
When he turns right to get pizza, he's hit by a truck.
Mm-hmm. And wakes up
and
in
I'm sitting
the
there reading it going, well, that wasn't an accident.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no way that was an accident. No.
Yeah. And he wakes up in the hospital.
And he wakes up in the hospital. He survives. I thought he was dead.
I did too, honestly.
Legit. I thought that was the end. I was like, well, no, that's no more him.
Uh-huh.
But I was surprised and glad that he survived. And while he's in the hospital, he has a nurse, Ashley.
Uh-huh.
And I only mention her because she'll come in later.
Yes, she does.
But I thought she might be with him first. I was like,
yeah,
I don't trust nurses. I don't trust nurses in this scenario. But they say his daughter is here to see him. And he's like, daughter? I don't have a daughter.
Yeah.
But it's Valentina in a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells him, and this is a second look into her, her complexity. She tells him, when you get out of here, announce your retirement.
Yes.
Drift, just fade away. She said, I was the one that sent the truck to hit you.
Yes.
And then she tells him she's sorry.
Yes.
And she leaves.
Yeah. She's basically giving him a chance to live. She says, you're to bow out. You're to say you're having memory problems. You do not have confidence in your ability to do your job anymore. You're to bow out. And then if he doesn't do that, he will die in the hospital, meaning somebody will kill him. So one way or the other, he's going to be out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to get out.
Mm-hmm.
It's better that you just bow out and save your own life.
Yeah.
And
Which shows you there is a little bit of humanity in Valentina, because
yes,
from what you've seen
yes,
of her earlier in the book, you would think she would just be happy to just dispose of him and be done with it. But so this again, it shows you a little bit of humanness in her. So you know
yes.
she's not quite as bad as you originally thought.
No, and when she leaves, he wipes away a tear that's on his cheek and realizes that's not his. So she's actually crying because she had hugged him, because she's supposed to be a doctor,
Yes.
and told him she was sorry, whispered in his ear. So you start to glimpse the heart that she actually has. And you kind of wonder, is like, what in the world drove her to, do all this? So he announces his retirement because he's a smart man, not a stupid man.
Yeah.
And we're like 3 days from launch at this point?
Yeah, we're
2
about
days?
3 days. And
Yeah.
I will say there is one more group of people we need to tell people about, because they've already made an appearance in the
Yes.
book. His name is Roman Muscovite. He is a leader of the Colorado Climate Freedom Militia. So in a book like this, you have to have protesters that are
There's
against.
going to be a militia.
Yeah, there's got to be a militia. And basically this is a pretty big militia. It's a nationwide or maybe even a global militia. They're fearful that the climate change system is an elaborate cover for more sinister intentions, which there probably is. There probably is.
They think the UN is planning an invasion.
Yes, and they think that the UN has constructed this system to wipe out traditional electrical power sources, which would force people to pay exorbitant prices for UN-supplied nuclear energy. So that's kind of what they think. And there's literally like hundreds of thousands of people globally in this militia, and Roman especially plays a big role in the story. So.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember exactly when they came in.
Yeah, we've already had our, I think we had our introduction to him right before the Milford gets put in the hospital.
They are at, I think, Camp Hale.
Yes, Camp Hale.
They're in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Laura and Craig and all their people, they're in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Summer and autumn, as we're setting the stage for all this, they are hiking, what is a 438-mile trail that starts in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
They're spending the summer hiking this trail.
Yes.
Which, you do you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just saying,
someone, not for me.
Laura, their mother, Laura, has been very hands-on in this climate control system, this climate crisis system. I think if a globally wide system was about to go in place, I would encourage my daughters not to be outdoors hiking a 400.
I wouldn't want to be.
No, I'd be like, we need to stay indoors until we know exactly what's going to happen. But, again,
they're grown. They can do what they want.
Sometimes fictional characters don't make the smartest decisions.
That's how we get books and movies.
Exactly. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Otherwise, it would just be boring.
Yeah. So we might ought to.
I like.
Oh, go ahead.
I like Roman.
Yeah.
And I think they're at Camp Hale and they get there. It's 4th of July, which I don't know why no one thought to check ahead to see what was going on.
Right.
4th of July, and they have all these people out there that are camping. They're setting up, which I think is a solar car race. I think that's the event. There's like a big festival, and I think the author worked in a little mention of like a solar car.
Yeah.
Type
because
race,
he's into that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But it is funny because after the festival's over, a lot of them are climate activists, the people at this festival, and they leave such a mess behind that the militia cleans up.
Yes.
They leave all this trash behind, and Roman's just like, okay, sure.
And I do like when you think militia, you automatically think unhinged extremists. And I really like that they weren't portrayed in that. Like, Roman is a very likable
No,
guy. The people that work with
he's
him are very
level-headed.
respectable. Yeah, they're very they're very respectful of Roman. You know, they call him Sir. So I really like that they weren't written as. And honestly, if it were written in anything other than Christian fiction, that's exactly how these militia would have
They
been
may
written.
have,
They
yeah.
would have been written as right-wing extremists. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Um, they're not. I think their beliefs as to what's going to happen are a little extreme, but they're not like, shoot first, ask questions later.
right,
Anyone who doesn't believe like us should die.
right. Yeah,
They're
no,
not
they're
that
not.
kind of militia. They're
No,
there because they think um
they think the
they think
system
the
is up to
UN
no
is
good.
basically going to attack, and
Yeah.
they want to be able to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes, I like women.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
anyway,
they finally
Penny Chuck sneaks out of the hospital.
yes.
His nurse actually sees him out of his room. He's still he needs to be in bed, so she tries to get him back in bed. He pulls her into an empty room, and we sort of, all this happens off page. He explains something to her, and then they come back out, and she goes to the nursing desk and says, "Hey, I'm going to have to leave, not feeling well. I'm going to get Mr. Pennychuck back in bed, then I'm going to leave." Then they sneak out of the hospital together, and then in the car, she tells him, "What you've just told me better be right, otherwise I could lose my job for this." So we don't really know what he tells her to convince her, because again, it happens off page. And then as soon as they leave, the chapter ends with them heading to Mount Washington Observatory, because there's someone there that Pennychuck trusts to help them. So that's kind of what happens next. Next, they show up at the observatory, and that's where we meet Laura.
Yes, Laura is at the observatory.
And she's his research assistant.
Yes, and Craig winds up there too, because there was he wasn't going to be there, but he just winds up there too. A girl that works with him sometimes. What is her name? She actually winds up being Ashley's sister.
Yeah.
Is it Holly?
Holly. Mm-hmm. Holly.
So coincidence, Ashley's with her sister.
Yeah.
But they're all at this observatory at the time of the launch. But meanwhile, the launch is a little cray-cray.
It is very cray-cray.
And it just kind of happens super fast. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, and it's good that it's written that way, because it adds to the confusion of the moment. You kind of feel like you're there. You're like, wait, what just happened? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
As to what's going on.
Yeah.
But we've got Barry, Valentina, and Catherine
in the control room,
main site in Flagstaff. Of course, along with a bunch of other politicians, press, guards, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is, Valentina has to upload something.
Yes.
At the time of launch. But in order for her to upload it, no one else can be looking at the monitor, because it's going to be showing,
the little status bar for the upload.
The status.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Catherine has to distract all these other, highfalutin politicians and VIPs. She's trying to distract them, by drinking champagne, until one of them was like, well, Valentina should have.
Yeah.
So he goes to take her there, and of course he sees that. He's like, wait, what is that? What are you doing?
What's on the screen? Yeah.
And that's when everything breaks loose, because Valentina's she can't think of anything to say.
Yeah. And it turns out they're uploading a system override into the computer. Mm-hmm.
And she can't think of anything to say, so she just goes to default and beats the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Everyone's in chaos. There's gunshots and people are dead on the floor, and Barry's going, wait, what?
Yeah, what's going on?
And then a shot hits the monitor. The monitor goes dead, so you can't see anything. And then when it's all over with, Catherine's standing there with a gun, and Barry's standing there going, what's happening? And Valentina is trying to reach out to the computer. When she reaches out to the computer, she realizes she's been shot. So just a lot of chaos out of nowhere.
And Barry screams at Catherine to help Valentina because she's bleeding. Catherine throws him a first aid kit and says, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't need her any longer.
Yeah, I don't need her anymore.
Yeah.
Which makes Barry more confused.
Yes, and this is when we see the first time that the system does what it's supposed to do, because once she tells him, I don't need her any longer, Catherine hears a strange humming noise, and she goes to the window and notices that the protesters outside are covering their ears, because there's a ton of protesters around the control center. There's a bright flash that fills the room, which is indicative that the system has gone through its first phase of implementation. And so
golden sparks and then a bright flash.
Yeah. Then we go back to Mount Washington, where Pennychuck kind of sees what happens from his point of view. That's one thing about this book. There's a lot of hopping back and forth. Like in the same chapter, there is a lot of PLV hopping. So it goes back to Mount Washington. Pennychuck realizes the time on his watch matched the time on the computer terminal, and now it doesn't. And so the reaction process should have started, but he notices that the reactor levels aren't rising, and there should be some indication on the reactor levels. There's a power outage, a shimmering outside followed by a bright flash, silence, and then falling snow.
At this point, no one technically knows that anything's gone wrong.
No.
I think they expected the snow. It's carbon snow.
It's carbon snow.
And that's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, basically what happened when the reactor did its thing, it turned all the carbon in the atmosphere to a solid, and it came down as snow.
Yes. Which is, exactly as it was supposed to work. But then there's this fog that rolls in. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen The Hunger Games, but that's what I thought of.
That's exactly what I thought of. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, nope, don't touch the fog. Don't
touch the fog. Yeah.
Mags, no.
Yeah.
So
and then Catherine looks out the window. The first one that noticed things are kind of going awry is Catherine. She looks out the window and notices that some of the protesters are writhing on the ground in distress, and that a thick fog is rolling in. Once the fog clears, Catherine notices that everyone outside is on the ground. They're still, and they're dead.
Yeah, no one's moving.
Yeah, no one's moving. So this is the first indication that whatever happened was not supposed to happen.
Right. And Valentina is still unconscious. She's shot just under the collarbone, I think.
Yes.
Is where and there's no exit wound. So Barry's just trying to keep her alive the best he can. Dr. Pennychuck, I think he starts to realize something's wrong, because I think he sees kind of a fog too, but he doesn't know what it is.
Yes.
There's no communication
below the level. Yeah. So
the next communication area they can't get hold of. So the whole electronic thing kind of seems like there was something to that.
Yeah.
Because it did knock out electronics. And listen, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I fully believe there's probably going to be like some EMP something someday. And then we're all screwed. I'm just saying.
Yes. You better learn how to grow your own. Learn how to grow your own tomatoes. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Or learn how to grow something that tastes good.
Yes. Because I'm not a
Not
tomato
tomatoes.
person. I hate them. Yes, I like ketchup. I don't like tomatoes.
Grow some potatoes.
Yes,
Be Irish.
potatoes. Yes, absolutely.
Today's stereotype is brought to you by. But they're starting to realize, something may not be right, below certain altitudes. We need to kind of go check it out. And they send Cinnamon and Baxter, who are I guess they work at the they work
in
there.
Colorado. Yeah, yeah.
No, they work in New Hampshire. They're in New Hampshire.
Okay. There
Cinnamon
are so
and
many
Baxter.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, they work in New Hampshire. They just got engaged. Like, he proposed just before the system went off.
Yes.
And so they said, okay, we're going to go down the mountain a little ways and see what's going on at the next station.
Mm-hmm.
So they take off, and Dr. Pennychuck's just sitting there like, something's not right.
Yes.
Something has gone wrong.
And then to further cement his thought that something is wrong, there's this train that goes up and down the mountain. The train is coming down the tracks, coming too fast. It crashes and falls off the trestle.
Yes.
So they go out to check it out. There's no survivors, and since the track from the bottom to the top of the mountain is over an hour, they draw the conclusion that the train started right about the time that the climate system started. And so at this point, they assume that everyone below the reflector altitude is probably dead.
Yes.
And it's also when they figure that everyone that breathed the fog probably had something to do with it.
If the wind did not catch them, because there were damaging winds too, up to 200 miles an hour.
Like hurricane level winds.
Yes, hurricane force winds. If the wind didn't get them, the fog apparently has.
Yeah, because at this point they have no confirmation of anything.
No. And Summer and Autumn out there in the wild, they get lambasted by the wind, and a tree falls on is it Summer?
I can't remember which one.
I think it falls on Summer, and Autumn somehow manages to pull it off her. So I'm just like, how did you do that? But you hear stories about people when the adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah.
And
they're
they
able
say
to pull off.
Very strong
They're able
bond.
to pull off superhuman feats.
Yeah. Because it's not mentioned again. It's not like the launch going off gave her superhuman powers. It's not that kind of book.
Yeah.
It's just, her twin was in danger. She thought she was dying, but she technically was dying because the tree was making it impossible for her to breathe. So they decide to keep going. Which, I mean, what else are you going to do? Just stay there in the woods. But they have no clue what's going on. They are probably the least informed of anyone in this book. Them and, unfortunately, Roman. Roman's like one step ahead of them, but not by much.
Yeah.
Because he can't contact anyone either.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just kind of going along. Baxter and Cinnamon discover lots of dead people and decide, okay, it's what we thought. It's time to head back up the mountain.
Yes.
And what no one expected was there's another pulse.
Yes.
That goes off.
5 hours later.
5 hours later. So
the
system
again.
Apparently is set to auto.
Yes.
So now we have a whole new problem. This isn't just going to go off once. It's going to go off every 5 hours.
And this is where his conspiracy theory mind sort of kicks in. He wonders if there was such destruction the first time, why would they do it again? Yeah. And he suspects that the climate system is something that they've intentionally put in place to cause destruction. Otherwise, why would they keep doing it over and over? So he thinks this is why. This is the purpose of it, not for the climate, but to cause destruction.
Yes, because, I mean, no one else has any idea that it's gone wrong, technically. Yeah. No one knows there's been a shootout at the headquarters.
Yeah.
Speaking of the headquarters, Barry's still there with, crazy Catherine.
Catherine.
And she's just walking around with a gun because she is caught off guard too. She has no idea
Yeah.
what's happening. She doesn't understand. She's not a scientist. She's just a businesswoman.
Yeah, she's a greedy businesswoman.
Yeah, she has no head for science. It's not what she does. So she doesn't understand any of this. Valentina's still out cold, and Barry's just trying to figure out what has happened here. Why was Valentina uploading that?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I even helping Valentina? She's made my life miserable for years. But he keeps thinking that he glimpsed something in her eyes just before she lost consciousness, a plea for help, and he feels like he should help. And it probably solidifies his opinion that Catherine's just acting like a crazy person, walking up and down with a gun.
Yes.
And then finally starting to collect all the other guns.
Yes.
From all the guards and, whoever else had a gun. And Barry's like, crap, all these guns in here. I didn't have the presence of mind
to grab one. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
which
because
she probably would have shot him if he'd tried, but still.
Exactly. Yeah. But at least and then she gets the bright idea. Okay, we need to go out to some of these trucks and scavenge what's left. We need to see if there's any supplies we can gather, or any other guns or whatever. So that kind of gets her out of the room. Well, and she won't let Barry go out there with her. She insists on going out there and doing it alone, which leaves Barry and Valentina in there. And we then find out Valentina has actually been awake at least part of the time. And part of the time. And she tells Barry, do not trust Catherine. She's the one who shot her, not the guards. Because up to this point, Barry thought the guards, there was so much confusion. He thought the guards had done all this. He says, don't trust Catherine. He doesn't understand it though, because he thought Valentina and Catherine she was Catherine's. She was a trusted associate of Catherine. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's even more confused, but he has to be Mr. Covert.
Yeah. And she tells
bless his heart, that's not what he was made for.
It's not what he was made for. Yeah. And Valentina tells him, Catherine is evil. She made me do everything that I have done. A lot of the things that she's done and the way she's treated people, she really didn't want to do that, but Catherine made her.
Yes, Catherine has forced her, and we don't know how or why, but we know she has to have something on her.
Yeah.
Because it has to be more than just threatening her life.
Exactly. Well, and then we learned that Catherine actually has something over Barry, because Barry took stock trading tips from Catherine, and then she blackmailed him to keep him under her servitude, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so now he wonders, okay, if Catherine's done this to me, I wonder what he's done to Valentina.
Yeah, what has she done to Valentina?
Mm-hmm.
So now Valentina and Barry are in cahoots. Sort of. Mm-hmm. And she tells Barry, she said, get her to talk. I need to know what she's done.
Yeah. So she pretends to be unconscious when Catherine comes back.
Yes. She said, you've got to get her talking, because I don't understand. The system shouldn't be acting like this with the override idea.
And during this short amount of time, he asks her what she was downloading. And this is when she fesses up and says, it's a system failure conditions. If it had worked, the download should have fried the system. But for some reason, it's still working on auto.
Yes. And we don't know why.
Yes.
So that's why she needs, because she knows there are other scientists involved in the project. But she doesn't understand what all they've done, because she doesn't have full access to everything.
Yes.
So Barry's job is to get Catherine to talk.
Yes.
And he's like, great, I'm just a politician. How did I wind up here?
Exactly. I'm just
word
a
of warning
mouthpiece.
for anyone wanting to go into politics.
Yes.
This could be you.
Yes. Well, Catherine, she comes back angry. Were you going? Okay, she comes back angry.
Go ahead.
She comes back angry because she found nothing in the vans outside that's useful to them. And And in her anger, she shoots a round of bullets into the trash can. I'm telling you, the woman is a crazy woman.
She's just crazy. She's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's crazy.
Now, who's Douglas? Is that Laura's husband? No, Craig is her husband. I have a note here that Douglas realizes that the second event was different than the first one, indicating that the
He's a
balloons.
weatherman.
Oh, he's a weatherman. Okay. Indicating
Yes.
that the balloons have raised. So here's how the system works. This is kind of how we, at this point, this is how we learn how the system works.
Yes.
The balloons are raised incrementally. I think 3,000 feet ever so often. So,
I think so.
and as it increases, as the elevation of the balloons increases, eventually it goes off every 5 hours until it reaches maximum height.
Yes.
So in order to have a shot at stopping it, they have to go to the main control center across the country in Craig's helicopter, but they have to stay above the event line every time it happens. So basically, they have to beat the system getting there, because the system goes all the way up into the stratosphere. So at some point, it's going to get to the point where they can't fly above it anymore. Then
can't
they're
fly.
all then they're all
especially not
trouble.
in a helicopter.
Especially in a helicopter, yeah. So they're really, time is of the essence.
So luckily they have, Craig's a pilot, and Holly can also fly. So they've got two pilots. Dr. Pennychuck is going because obvious reasons, and Laura. Ashley's going because she's Dr. Pennychuck's nurse. I think is that the full contingency of the passengers?
Think so.
They want to take Douglas, but he has a condition that keeps him from flying. So he stays behind.
I don't remember if at this point they may not have realized yet that they have 5 hours to get so they also have to build in time that once it gets close to the next phase of the system going off, they have to be in a protective situation, because part of the reason that people are dying is not only the fog. When the reactor goes off, it creates sort of a vacuum, and so basically it suffocates people. That's also how people are dying. And so they have to get into a basement that has no ventilation in order to survive the event. So as we go along, you start to realize the stakes are really high in them getting to the next point before the next phase of the reactor going off.
Yes, very, very high. So they're off on their mission. Barry manages to get Catherine to talk. It was easier than I thought, but like all villains, she has to monologue.
Yes. And I've got a little we did get a little bit of background information on the Morgreed family. Since we're talking about her, this might be a good opportunity to say it. Her family and their associates, in an attempt to gain control, have formed the Arctic Circle Society. It's a by invitation only group, and the invitations are expended only to politicians and the rich and wealthy. So immediately this is a very corrupt group with bad morals. If it consists of politicians and rich and wealthy, they're a corrupt and have no morals.
It has to be someone with influence.
Exactly, someone with influence, and their goal is to influence the course of civilization. They influence wars, trade treaties, social media trends. And they've been working for decades to increase pollution and dirty energy. And now they're in charge of creating the system that is supposed to, quote unquote, clean it all up. But it was never meant to work. It was a scheme to get rich. Again, very amoral people. Yeah.
And it's even more insidious than that, because the goal is to actually increase global warming.
Yes.
And make the northern and far southern areas of the globe more prosperous. And then everything around, near the equator, everything dries up. So it's actually a very racist, incredibly racist society.
Yeah. I do want to say, Yeah. I do
She
want to
brings up
make
the
one.
East India Trading Company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say before we get much further, hold your thought on that. I probably should have said this earlier. We are going to try to not give major spoilers in this episode
No.
because this is not a widely read book, or say a Francine Rivers or whatever. So since this is
Right.
not as widely known of a book, we don't want to give spoilers because we want to give people the opportunity to find out what's going on. Sometimes we do spoilers on this, but we're going to try not to on this one. So, okay, so go ahead and
Yeah.
finish what you
No
were going to say.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to give spoilers.
Yeah.
Because of the type of book this is,
Yeah.
just some of the twists are too good.
Yeah, they're too good to spoil it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the East India Company.
Yeah, she said they were involved in the East India Trading Company too. And she goes so far as to say, but slavery fell out of fashion and we had to be
Yeah.
These are people who are worse than I thought.
I'm telling you.
So she finally says something that actually distresses Valentina to the point where she makes a noise. I'm not going to say what that something is.
Yeah.
Because that's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
And I don't think it should be revealed. So once she knows that Valentina's awake, she's like, okay, no. Wake her up. I need to know what's happened here. So she makes Barry put Valentina in cuffs, which is very painful because she makes him put like behind her back.
Yeah, and she's got a bullet lodged in her shoulder.
Right here, so
yeah.
It's
and
very painful.
the bullet is still lodged in her shoulder.
Yeah, and the bullet's still in there.
We don't find that out till later, but yeah, so she's in a lot of pain.
Yes, very, very much. And Valentina finally finds out, Catherine's like, what in the world went wrong? It wasn't supposed to do this. And so Valentina gets all the information from her she can, and Catherine finally tells her, she said, what did you tell your scientists? What did you tell them to do with this override? And Catherine basically tells her, well, I just told them, what was it, 1,000 times, whatever Dr. Pennychuck.
Yeah, she told the contractors. She told the contractors to give the system 1,000 times more nuclear power than Pennychuck had planned. So basically, Catherine is the reason everyone has died up to this point.
Yeah, Valentina says, you're the reason this happened. It's overloaded the system so much that it's killing people, and you're the reason because it's too much energy. So that actually does make Catherine kind of stop in her tracks because she can't fathom that she's the one responsible.
Well, and what do you think's going to happen when you make it when you make the system to operate at 1,000 times more nuclear energy than it was intended? How can that not end in catastrophe?
I think what the deal is she was just throwing out, I'll make it 1,000,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But scientists are going to take that and be, oh, well. Okay.
Yeah, well, and that's part of Catherine's not a scientist. She's a greedy business person. She honestly, she probably really doesn't understand the consequences of what she's done.
No, I'm sure that's a lifelong habit of hers. So we've got our helicopter crew bouncing from place to place.
From airport to airport.
Almost everywhere they stop.
Yeah.
Summer and August are still hiking. They wind up at a hotel.
Yes.
Somewhere along the way. And they stop there. The hotel has no idea what's going on either. No one at this point knows. There's literally probably millions of people dead. At some of these higher altitudes. They have no idea what's going on. But they do know every time it goes off, it's a little higher.
Yes.
So we're racing against the clock. Because at some point, it's not going to be safe anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So they're when did they finally get to Arizona, our helicopter crew?
They finally get to Flagstaff, Arizona, and
To
this is where they find one lone person who's working at the airport control tower. I'm not sure how he survived. He's the only person alive in the airport. They fill up, wait around the airport to wait out the next storm. And then they head to their last stop, which is Phoenix. And that's where the climate control hub is.
Yes.
They tell the Flagstaff man to take his family and head to a nearby mountain that is higher in elevation because the next system, which will be in 5 hours, will elevate enough to kill everyone in Flagstaff. So
Yes.
they head off to Phoenix.
And Barry and Catherine, I don't know why I have a block on her name. Barry and Catherine and Valentina, they're all talking. And one of them hears something and they're like, but it's not the buzzing that we hear with the
usual
and
system.
Valentina's finally like, it's a helicopter.
Uh-huh.
So that's how we know that Craig and Laura and crew have arrived there.
Yes.
And of course, Catherine immediately, she's in defense mode. I'm just glad she didn't shoot them right off.
I am too.
I honestly thought
I thought that was what was going to happen. Yeah. No. So Craig comes out to meet them. Catherine fires a gun at him. She doesn't shoot him. Forces Barry out of the helicopter. Flies her and Valentina away because Catherine has a fully stocked bunker with decades worth of supplies to hide away in. Yeah. So
we skipped just a little bit there because when they first come in, Catherine tells them that Valentina is responsible for all of this.
That's right.
And the guard shot her. So they all think Valentina has done this. And, Barry wants to say something, but, what are you going to do? Catherine has a gun. She's like, I've been fending them off with a gun because this is, immediately jumps to blaming Valentina and Barry for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it something under the guise of taking them somewhere? Because she winds up giving Valentina a drug.
Yes.
She gives her a pill and winds up putting her in the helicopter and then leaves Barry.
Yeah. Surprise, Catherine. Surprise, Catherine can fly a helicopter.
Yes, she can. She's a pilot. She can fly her own. Of course she can. Awesome. So glad she has this skill.
Yeah.
So of course, once she takes off with Valentina, Barry tells them the truth. It's like, no, it's her. She's crazy. She's like the secret society lady. And it's all insane. How did I get here?
Yeah.
So now they're stuck there because they don't have a helicopter.
Exactly.
Because Valentina just took off with it. So they don't know what to do. Valentina, because she did all this after she found out that the Flagstaff airport was untouched, not damaged. That's what prompted her crazy escape. So she just leaves Valentina on the helicopter. Like, oh, she'll be all right. And takes, I think it's her plane.
Yes.
She's like, I'm going to get to my, I'm going to get to my bunker and we'll be just fine. Me, myself, and I.
Yeah. Because that's all she cares about.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, she sort of wrecks her plane by running into one of the balloons. I think some pilot really should be looking out for those.
Right.
But Craig and Holly and Barry, they decide that maybe they can take out one of the balloons.
Yes. They hope that taking out one of the balloons will force the system to stop. Yes.
Yes. Taking out one of the balloons should force a stop because that's how it was. It's a failsafe.
It's a failsafe, yes.
Yes, but they have to get to the airport. How do they get to the airport?
Well, Craig, again, this is kind of one of those convenience things written into the story. Craig knows of a friend who restores old aircraft who lives a couple of miles west of the base. And if he gets there, he thinks he can find some sort of aircraft that's old enough that the systems that has just hit, because the system fries modern
modern technology,
modern cars and anything
that
that has a computer in it. So he thinks if he gets there, he can find an aircraft, a helicopter that's old enough that it would have survived what happened. So they go there, they find one, and that's how they're able to move on to the next stop.
Yes, they fly and they land on one of the weather balloon things.
Yes,
and anchor it. It's a Huey. That's what it is. It's a Huey.
Yeah, and that's how huge these balloons are. The balloons are big enough that they can land on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Barry and Craig, their job is to go in there and see if they can sabotage the balloon and get it
to force a shutdown. Yes.
Yes, to force a shutdown. And they succeed in getting it untethered just before the next pulse. And while they succeed in getting it untethered doesn't work.
Yes.
Like they thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't keep the system from going off.
Yes.
And
so now
we learn later that,
okay, what is it going to take to shut this thing down?
We learn later that, again, it's because of the amount of energy.
Yes.
That's
being pumped through these reactors. Yes.
It's so much energy that it doesn't matter that there's a gap in the network.
Yes, it's going to take a lot more because of the increased nuclear energy. It's going to take a lot more than one balloon to force a shutdown.
Yes.
So at this point, they realize there's no way we can stop it by this method because it's literally going to take hundreds, maybe thousands of balloons, and they just don't have the time or the resources to knock out that many balloons. So So they got to find another way to stop it.
So how else can we stop it?
Exactly. Yeah.
In the meantime, Summer and August have actually gone back out on the trail and run into the militia.
Yes. Yes.
So now they're hanging out with
Roman,
who still can't quite figure out what's going on. He's like, what is the UN's goal here? And I'm like, not the UN.
And of course, they somehow wind up telling that they have a connection to Pennychuck, of course, who is the scientist that this system is based on. So he asked them to stay at the camp because they might know a few things that could help them in the future. And Autumn and Summer agree. So they kind of take up with this militia.
Yes. And Valentina has woken up in the helicopter before that pulse. And has managed to barricade herself in a sort of airtight. She covers it with duct tape. Man, duct tape.
Yeah.
Grabs a mask because that's smart.
Yeah, and it's in a janitor's closet. She actually takes residence in a janitor's closet.
Yes, and so she's safe from that pulse. Catherine's Catherine.
Yes. Enough said.
So after that pulse, Valentina's like, I need to get to Colorado because she actually has a connection to Roman.
Yes.
She is in love with Roman. He is in love with her, and they have been separated by Catherine.
Yes, Catherine has put a wedge in their relationship.
Yes, and another reason Valentina hates Catherine.
And I was very surprised when I found out that Valentina and Roman had a connection because I would never have suspected that.
Yeah.
But their connection was years ago before all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they've somehow managed to keep in touch with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows he's going to be in Colorado. She knows where he is. So she's like, okay, I've got to get to Colorado. That's her only thought. She finds an old truck, perfect for the journey. It's like, you got to get some supplies, keep the mask, keep the duct tape, and off we go.
Yeah.
So she's headed from Flagstaff to Colorado. And Craig and company are still wondering, how the heck are we going to do this? And they land on, well, maybe we can get to another station and shut it down from there. Because they can't shut it down from this headquarters.
Yes.
Because, you know, Catherine very helpfully shot the computer.
She shot the computer, yeah. And there's three prime locations that if they can get there, they think they might be able to shut it down.
Yeah. There's one in
Argentina, Hawaii, or Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do they go?
There's one in Hawaii, which they can't fly that far over water in the helicopter without refueling. And they finally settle on Alaska. It's like, good grief.
Yeah.
All over the place.
All over the place.
So now everyone's loading up for Alaska. It's time.
Yeah.
So they're headed for Alaska. Summer and August wake up in the middle of the night in the camp, and they're like, you know what? We don't really want to be here.
Yes.
So let's try to sneak off. They're only watching the trails and everything. We can sneak through another way and then get back on the trail. So they take off. And when Roman discovers they're gone, he's like, well, can't blame him.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. But he gets called into a meeting with the mayor of a nearby town called Leadville. I have no idea if that's a real town.
Yeah, I don't either.
I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly if it is. Sorry if I'm not. So he gets called into a meeting with this mayor because the mayor wants help keeping order in the town. And on his way there, of course, he comes across a couple hikers.
And guess who it is? Autumn and Summer.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So they actually accept his offer of a ride into town. And it's nice of him to offer. And he winds up taking them to the meeting because he's like, you know, you could be helpful.
Exactly.
And that's when one of the twins mentions, you know, my mom said if they lose any of the weather balloon type things, it should disrupt the network and shut the system down.
Yeah. Of course, they don't know the other groups already tried this and it was unsuccessful.
No.
Yeah.
Since there's no communication, no one knows what anyone else is trying.
Right.
And they're like, well, you know, can you shoot them down?
Yeah. Roman's
and the mayor's just appalled.
Roman's like, have guns, we'll try it.
Yeah. We got this.
Yeah.
So and I think they decide to try to take out not just one, but a couple, which,
yes.
I mean, hey, why not?
Go for it. Go for it.
So their plan is to fire at the weather balloons, technically. Just, you know, destroy them. That's their thought. And the helicopter crew is hopping from town to town, or base to base, really. Base
to base, yeah. Airports and,
airport
bases.
to airport.
Yeah.
Met with, you know, dead bodies, and it's really just kind of a horrifying thought.
And
honestly.
Valentina makes it to one of the towns. It may have been Leadville. I can't remember. And it's here that she meets
a doctor.
Leadville
yet.
Okay.
Yes.
She meets this doctor.
She was still, it was, it's near Leadville because the person she meets, her and her husband were planning to go to Leadville. They have
that's what it was. Yeah, to go. Yeah.
So it's not super far, I don't think, but it's not Leadville. Probably 3 hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours.
And it's higher up in elevation.
Yes, higher up in elevation. But they're not safe where they are. And this person she finally gets the bullet out of her. Bless her heart. So that removes her from danger.
Yes.
And the lady's husband gets there, and they bunker down to ride out the next storm together. The next pulse. So she keeps them safe from that. And you really start to see who Valentina is now that she's out of the control of Catherine and doesn't have that hanging over her.
And this again, this is a very good moral lesson. You gotta control who is in your circle. Who you allow into your circle determines who you are as a person. So stay away from the Catherines of the world.
Yes,
The Catherine
that's true.
Morgreeds of the world. Yeah.
And she even thinks to herself, I wish I could go back and tell that girl, say no, run.
Uh-huh.
You're a kid. You don't know.
You don't
You have no
know.
idea.
Yeah.
So they, this nice couple, they all head to Leadville together, and this gives Valentina the chance to sleep.
Yes.
Finally. And the couple actually drops her off at the hospital in Leadville,
Uh-huh.
and then continues on to their cabin and brings back their Jeep. So that way she can have the truck and they have their Jeep. And Valentina actually gets some rest and a shower.
And a shower, yes. Yeah.
So the helicopter crew's still bouncing around. They finally get to I forget the name of it, but it's just this very isolated place. We're in Alaska. There's a lot of isolated places.
Yeah. Now
no one is alive there.
We might go ahead and say, I may be ahead of you a little if I am, Tommy. By the time they arrive at the hospital in Leadville, Roman and the twins have shot down 4 of the balloons, and they realize that it's not working at this point. So they know.
Yes, I skipped that. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
There's so much that goes on in this book, you guys. There's so much to keep track of.
There are, yeah. So, but at this point, they realize shooting down balloons is not going to be enough.
I give him props for being able to keep it all straight, because as a writer, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
It's impressive. But I can do it.
For sure.
My mind doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It works this way. Not this way.
Yeah.
So, they just don't understand that it's because of the excess energy. But they've gotten to the station in Alaska. Everyone's dead, luckily, which sounds bad, but luckily the employees were outside so they can use their key card to get into the station. And Dr. Pennychuck, of course, one of the problems is he's had his access removed. That was one of the last things Valentina did. He no longer has access, but Barry does. So using Barry's password, he's able to get in, and he's able to, I don't remember what he does, but it enables the system to do what it's supposed to do, which is produce that carbon snow.
Yes.
And not the fog.
And the fog is a result of the nitrogen and oxygen combination. And so they need to get away from that into doing what it was originally intended, which is cause the carbon snow.
Yes. But after that pulse goes off and he realizes it's worked correctly, then there's a little bit of another problem. And he has to figure that out, because now, even though it's working correctly, there's too much energy.
Yes.
And what's going to happen is it's just going to fry everything, and we're going to have a nuclear reaction. So we sort of fixed it, but it's still broken.
And we don't want to have a global Chernobyl.
Yes. No, we don't. We already have one Chernobyl, and it's enough of a problem.
That's enough of a problem, yes.
And in Colorado, Valentina finally reunites with Roman. And
yes,
it's nice. It's so nice to see them happy, to see Valentina happy. And everyone's like, wait, he's married to Valentina. He's in love with Valentina?
Yeah. How's that work? Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of looking at him like, okay. Because the twins know of her, but they know of her from Dr. Pennychuck, and Dr. Pennychuck, of course, doesn't have a very good opinion of her as a person.
Yes.
So it's all kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But they have like a whole town to save, because the next pulse is going to hit Leadville. They have basements in the schools left over from the Cold War, but they're full of stuff. Because, of course, it's nothing but storage now.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wait, what about tornadoes? But it's Colorado, so
Yeah.
Why would they use it?
Yeah. And at this
That's
point,
my mindset talking.
yeah. And at this point, somehow Valentina has come to the conclusion that in order to stop all this, they're actually going to have to take out a reactor.
Yes, that is her solution. She wants to take out a reactor because that will break up the power system. She and Roman suit up to go into the reactor and take it out, but they aren't able to do it. They're in there too long. Her indicator turns red, and they aren't able to power it down.
Yeah.
The way they wanted, because it wasn't made to be powered down. It was made to be maintained.
Yeah.
And she's not technically a nuclear scientist. I'm sure she's well aware of nuclear power and is very studied in it. But again, her main study is climate.
Right.
But they've managed to save the town, but now they've got to take this nuclear reactor out, and they don't do it. But in Alaska, Dr. Pennychuck has, I don't know, do we want to say spoiler?
No, let's stay away from spoilers. At this point, we may not be able to say a lot more because we can't go any further without giving spoilers.
It's just, I hate to give away anything in a thriller.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about a lot, and I don't want to talk about too much more.
Yeah. If we've piqued your interest, we've done our job. So go out, pick up the book. I bought it at Christian Book Distributors. I think he publishes through a company called Ambassador International or something like that. This type of book is totally my jam because there's no romance in it. I wasn't sure about the climate crisis part of it because I didn't know what end of the spectrum it was going to be written from, because
it wasn't really written from either end of the spectrum. Honestly.
That's really what I liked about a book. It was kind of a neutrally written book.
Yes.
Again, which that's kind of an amazing feat as an author, because most authors write from whatever perspective they tend to gravitate toward, which can alienate your reader base, and so
it can.
Yeah, so I was a little bit concerned about it at first because I was like, I really don't want to read a book that's, we have to save the world or we're all going to die,
Yeah.
So I'm glad it turned out to not be that. But I'm pretty adventurous as a reader. As long as books don't whack you over the head with this or that, I kind of will pick up anything. So that's why I ultimately decided to pick it up. I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. And I'm so glad I did because I really enjoyed this book.
It was a very, very good book.
Well, good. I was glad you liked it. It was actually your turn to pick, but you were like, not up to picking. Why don't you do it? So I narrowed it down to 3 and then said, you pick of the 3. And this is the one you chose.
So yeah, I kind of liked the cover. I thought it was pretty. So
yeah, the cover was pretty cool.
That was the deciding factor.
Was it really?
It was. So good job, sir, on picking your cover artist.
Your cover artist did what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to entice people to pick it up and read it. So it worked. We are going to have an interview with the author coming up. Probably that's going to be a second episode, so you can look forward to that. Follow us if you like what you see here. If you watch us on Spotify or whatever platform, give us a like on that platform. When people like and subscribe to your channel, like on Spotify or whatever, that sort of helps the platform push us out to more people. We haven't really asked people to do that in the past, but it'd be nice to get a few likes on our platforms. If you want to follow us on social media, we're pretty much everywhere. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook as Bookish Introverts Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. I've also got a few of our videos uploaded to rumble.com. If you want to email us, you can email us at bookishintrovertspodcast@gmail.com. Miss Melanie, you got any final words?
I read it in less than 24 hours, so y'all have no excuse.
Wow. And I read it in 2 weeks. So girl, I don't know how you do it. Melanie is a speed reader.
Sure panic sometimes.
All right. We will catch you guys in the next interview with the author, Michael James Emberger. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Bookish Introverts Podcast, where together we explore the worlds within the pages. Until next time, stay bookish.